This is Justin AMZN for Wednesday, September 11th, 2019. First thing here, just looking at, it's nice that we had this line in here because today that's where we ran right into and paused, pulled back a little bit, like a really nice flag, and then continued to rally up through. And then didn't really pause at it very much on the way back down. But as we opened up, had a really nice bounce off of the uptrend channel, off of 1815. This candle was a great candle off of the 21, off of 1815, and just exploded higher. Right out the gate, this was really some nice setups in the morning here, and then even got going again with a nice bounce in the afternoon. Last hour and a half of the trading day, put in a kind of a double bottom here with a retest, secondary retest, and still had a nice bounce into the close. So calls are what we're going to take a look at. This is the 1825 call expiring this Friday, and the price to be buying was right out the gate would have been around $7 if you waited for that bounce off of 1815. I don't know that you would have been filled at 7, but 750, 8, with a dollar stop. I mean, just trading this candle alone would have been setting up like 8 by 7, and should have filled you on the next candle here if you waited till this one closed, or hit send right as this candle closed, and then you're just in that for the ride. So you got it at 8, and it just runs. And because we had that line in there, it had a nice pause up at this point. But if you got it at 8 and it's just running like this, just take your profit at 12, 13, get 4 or 5 hours, something like that, and then wait for a pullback, wait to reload. This flag was a little bit steeper on the option than it was on the stock itself, and so had a nice little hammer here, pulled back a little bit more into that hammer's range, and then got going again. And that would have been buying here, right at 10, maybe 10 by 9, possibly. That hammer was over here, but then it pulled back a little bit more on the option. So maybe you got in 11 by 10, maybe 10 by 9, I don't know. But if you had it set up over here as it started to bounce, even 1050 by 950, any of those would have worked, going back up to 12, 13, even pushed up to 15. And then up here made kind of a double top here. Going back to the stock, trying to see what pattern that is. It's really hard to see a double top. It's really spread out, but had a really nice inverted hammer, pulls right back in the 21. Looks like it's going to start to bounce. People buying up here, you missed it. I mean, you had an opportunity to buy here and here and here. So this is the place that, nope, you missed it. And it stops you out or trails you out quickly here. Well, probably stopped you out if you're buying right there. And comes all the way back down, really to the point that it broke out from with this hammer, just about down there, almost back to 1815. Actually, really impressive. It came back into 18 teens, and then had the double bottom, really started to rally there too. So that would have been buying again at 7. 7 was the price to buy, and on the 1825 calls. And then when we're up here, interestingly enough, looking at puts, this is the 1825 put, 7 would have worked again here, as it looked like it was going to do a breakout. Here, it pulled into a low price right around $7 on the puts. And so you could have been buying at 7, or after that candle, it could have done 8 by 7 and held on to that as it rolled over and doubled. If you went from 7 up to 14, nice little gain there. So looking at the extremes, looking at the reversals, the hammer here, the inverted hammer here, the double bottom here, it's the patterns you just got to step back and wait for. Even this looks like a bit of a double bottom. It's just not really a support kind of location. I mean, it's more of a flag, a really big flag, but maybe on a 15-minute it looks a little bit more like a flag. But anyway, some nice setups, really nice one off 1815, and yeah, that's really how you just got to set things up today and trade it. So taking a look at the daily, looks like we're starting to get this bounce here. And if we look at extended hours, we've run up after hours into 1841.30, and we'll just have to see if we hold up here and we open up here on Thursday, and then oops, went the wrong way. If we can do that, really we're talking about a bullish retest gap, so it could still pull back into this range. But if we get an open up here, I mean, it'll be the first time we've got an open up above 1841.30 since this candle. And so again, all bears in here will be trapped at that point, maybe except for a few in this wick. But we've really got a bullish candle, three bearish candles in between, or closing bearish candles. This candle is actually really bullish open, but didn't stay that way. If we can get up here and get a bullish candle, I think we could easily run up into 1863.84, possibly even into 1880.05, either same day Thursday or into Friday to get up here. And that'd be a really nice bounce, but I mean, as quickly as we broke down through this, we could move right back up, and really that turns this whole thing into a really nice accumulation with a retest of the breakout, the 1815 price being that breakout price. And like I talked about last week, we've gone sideways in here, and it's really nice, a really nice rest. It's just turned into an S curve. And so next would be the continuation of that S curve, breaking out. So that's what this looks like. So look for some opportunities with calls. 1825s are going to be pretty far on the money. 1850s. If we open up around 1840, there's a chance we could get a flash down, or maybe just have the option price, really just not have all the premium built into it right as it opens. It's possible maybe you could set up a trade to buy right at 2 and have your stop down at 1. So it's actually kind of conservative for the 1850 call. Buying at 2, stop down at 1, and pretty quickly it should, the value should shoot up to like 3, maybe even 4. So if you set a target at 4, so if you buy at 2, target at 4, stop at 1, that'd be 2 Rs just to have that set up as it opens. Totally a possibility. Just depends on where we open up here. When we have a nice kind of gap up like that, that sort of setup, it would have worked over here. Let's see, from here to here, I think it would have worked over here, something like that. Obviously, I think 1850 call, but let's see, this was a gap up from Wednesday to Thursday, like we're talking about Wednesday to Thursday this week. So, take a look at the options. Sometimes I've seen options being updated before, like just the price being updated. You can't trade it until the market opens, but having an order just sitting open, ready for a gap up, sometimes you'll get a nice price. That would be just as it kind of would have continued trading it today, moving up, but you get it that price even though it gaps up somewhere here. Those Greeks are funny. They just make the options price sometimes cooperative and sometimes very uncooperative. I guess usually uncooperative when you're looking for something directional, but that's just kind of what I'm seeing as an opportunity to kind of get into something bullish right at the open. And then if it does move up to 1863.50 or 1880, I mean, you're just going to hold on. I mean, take your target off at 4, keep moving your stop up from 1 to 2 to 3, something incremental like that, as it's making new higher high candles on the 5-minute. So that's the way to play it. Hope that helps, and we'll be back tomorrow with more on how things have played out. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.